We're going to give it just a couple of minutes, and then we will kick this webinar off. And I don't think this is going to be a super long webinar, but we do have some exciting things to talk to you about as far as some program changes. And please feel free to ask all the questions that you would like today. Just put them in the chat, and we will take them as they come. So.
Yeah, I think that's why I wanted to leave a lot of time for questions.
Yep.
Audra is going to be joining us. She's just finishing up another call, and she has been doing this for years and years on the contractor side. So she's going to answer any questions that you might have. So I'm going to kind of go over the basics with Q, and then she'll chime in. And then at the end, if you have more specific questions, she can help us out. And I see Kathy is actually on. So it was, I guess when I forwarded my link, it had my information in it. So it was coming up Kathy Sizemore. So glad Kathy is here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Kathy, did you guys get pounded with the weather and the rain? Looked like California, just watching the radar, it was getting hit pretty hard. She's on mute.
Yeah, I don't see the camera on it. Oh, Michelle, thanks for joining from Aruba. Good to see you on the call. Hey, Chris.
You can send us some of that rain, Miss Kathy.
We'll
take
if you guys would care for some ice and snow, we could send some to you.
Oh, no, keep that. Keep that one.
Have all of that.
Okay. Okay.
All right, everyone, we're going to give it just one more minute here, and we will kick things off. But again, thank you for joining us on Friday. Maybe you've heard some of the announcements here if you were at Connect, but very excited to start opening this up for a little wider audience. Things are progressing quickly now, and lots of exciting things happening. Can't think of any time at Resideo we've had so many new products. We got some program changes. Very, very exciting times right now. And I tell you, hold on to the ride, because 2025 is going to be pretty awesome too when you think about just all the great things that are coming down the pipe. So great stuff happening right now. Glad you could join. All right. Okay, Angela, I guess we will kick this show off.
Awesome.
Just kind of maybe go through the agenda, guys, but guys, we're going to cover a little bit about the new program changes, rebate, our Premier Points launch. We're going to talk about how do you use those points, right? Again, if you're familiar with co-op advertising, that can continue, but we've got some exciting things that we'll be talking about around product certificates, branded merchandise, and our luxury rewards. We also have some new program logos that we will discuss, and then we'll keep things open for Q&A. Before I get started, though, I do want to just kind of maybe point out a couple of things, right? You know, this is a program that's been near and dear to my heart for 30 plus years. And I just want to remind everyone that for, man, up until just when we spun 6 years ago, our program was always co-op only, meaning that was really the only rewards that you were earning. And Angela, if I remember that right, you were only earning up to 3% back on every dollar during that time period. And then when we spun 6 years ago, we did richen the program a good bit by offering a rebate for our top percentage growth targets. And we also raised the co-op to up to 4%. So very exciting. But again, the 6 years ago, even with those enhancements, you could still only use co-op for what it was intended for, which was marketing. So now we're very excited to talk about really what we're doing now from the standpoint of changing the program benefits to points. So you can still earn up to 4% back on every dollar. But now these will be in your portal as points. And again, we're going to keep the rebate. Everyone tells us that that's a great incentive for them to hit that target. They love getting that check in January, February of the year, just based on their performance. And then again, a couple of new things here, or at least points will continue to be deposited quarterly, just like your co-op dollars were. So nothing is changing there. Each quarter, we do kind of look at your numbers, and if you've had based on that year-over-year growth, you'll get the right points deposited there. But most importantly, this is allowing for options other than co-op that, at least the feedback that we got during the regional meetings, and particularly during Connect, everyone is very, very excited. And guys, this is launching now. I think if Brad joins us, we'll get a little update. But everyone, if you're looking at your portal now, you may see 0 pretty soon you're going to see your points balance there that you will then be able to redeem for some of the items that we're going to talk about. But before I get to that, right? So, 2024 compared to 2025, let's talk about some of the changes there, right? Rebate is still going to be in effect. Rebate in 2025 will still be a check to you, right? Again, rebate is awarded annually to you, still going to be rewarded annually to you. And again, no changes between 2024 and 2025. You get 1% if you have year-over-year growth of 5%. You get 2% at 7.5. That will be changing to 10% in 2025. I'll talk about some of the reasons in just a second there, but again, the rebate stays the same. It's not changing at all. You will still get that check. So again, something to continue to look forward to there. If we want to talk about points, Ange, you want me to take this real quick?
Yeah,
or?
sure.
Yeah.
So this is the portal where you will see the points. $1 equals 100 points. And we just wanted to go over a few things that are just basics before we can get to the next step. So you must be enrolled in the portal in order to get your points. I'm pretty sure everybody on this call is already enrolled in the portal because you use the marketing tools and the co-op. But only one person, which we're going to call the points admin, can redeem points. So if you're in the portal and you're not a points admin, you'll still see the points on the dashboard, but only when you get to where you click redeem, and then you'll see a new screen. There will be points, but only the points admin can see them. So Audra's already taken care of transferring all of this to points. It's just we're waiting for the vendor just to kind of fine tune some of what you'll see at that level. And also when we get to that, we can also have a new webinar where we can actually do a live demo for you. So if you're not the points admin, if you go to that second screen and you don't see points, you can email premierpartner@resideo.com. You could also email me directly, but that's just in case like I'm out. Audra's, the whole loyalty group has access to that inbox, so you'll get the quickest response that way. And that's points.
So again, right, Ange, $1 is 100 points. So how many pennies make up $1, and each penny's worth a point, basically. So just think of it that way as far as the way our points are working there. So guys, here's the exciting thing for me, right, is that you now have really 4 ways in which you can spend these points that you've earned, right? So for those of you that love leveraging those points to use for your marketing, continue to do that, guys. You'll be able to hit that redeem button, redeem it for co-op dollars, and continue that process that you love right there, right? But one thing that we have heard kind of loud and clear over the years is that, Quentin, man, we just don't do a lot of marketing. Most of the business we do is kind of word of mouth. We do some little things locally. I can tell you that I know from our standpoint, we do typically see most of the redemption for co-op always typically happens in December, and it's everybody kind of scrambling for looking for things that they might have done from a marketing standpoint. So now you do have an option of, hey, I want to take those points, and instead of using them for marketing, I want to redeem them for product certificates. So you'll have the ability to take those points, redeem those into product certificates, and again, buy your favorite Resideo products at ADI there. You'll also have the option of our branded merchandise. We'll go into that, I think, in a little bit more detail here. And then, something that we've heard kind of loud and clear is, hey, luxury rewards, right? Let's say you're maybe planning a Christmas party or some other company event. You now have the option of taking those points, going to that luxury rewards, and buying some items maybe for your team there. So again, instead of having just one option, which was co-op or marketing dollars, you now have 4 options in which you can now spend those dollars earned there. So want to talk about this, Ange?
Sure. Okay, so we're just going to back up a little bit. Right before Connect, we put a note in the portal giving you a deadline to put in any co-op that you had, because basically we had to pause the system in order to do that points conversion. So if you did submit a request, then you're just going to go ahead normally putting in that claim just like you did before. But if you have paid for the activity and you could do that claim right now, we ask you to, if you can do that, that would be great to just clear out everything for 2024. If you haven't done that yet and you haven't paid for it, that's okay. But if you have done that, it would be helpful if you could just go in and submit that claim as normal. So if you didn't do that and we've frozen those funds, all of that was transferred over to points. Like I said, Audra did that. And the reason for the hold up a little bit is just because we're working with that vendor on that screen, but not to worry. I know a couple of people have said, they've seen the zero, they've gotten nervous, but it's only because we're in that conversion time period. And then yes.
Sorry to barge in, but I've been trying to get in. I was waiting for this meeting. I've been trying to get into the Resideo portal, dealer portal, and it like the what do you call it?
Spinning wheel of death.
Yeah, the spinning wheel of death. Yeah, that's a good one for it. Yeah, I can't get in.
Can you
Okay.
can you just put your email? What's your
Audra.
email?
J_Rossano@L'Aquila.ca.
Okay, let me take a look here at some stuff.
Awesome. That's Audra, everyone.
Yeah, so we'll take a look on the
She's-
portal side and see who may be, yeah, we'll see if we have you in there. Okay.
Great. Okay, so we just wanted to go over the percentages for 2025. So how you're going to accrue that money based on your purchases. So for 2025, for any type of growth, you're going to get 2%. If you have 5% or more, you'll get 3%. And then this number, 10% for 4% growth. So just making you aware of the slight changes for 2025.
Yep.
And then the next slide, I think we're going to go into the nitty gritty on co-op. Okay, so again, one back.
One back. Okay.
Yep.
There you go. Sorry.
Okay, so we already covered this, right? Just as a reminder, the points admin is the one who's going to redeem all points. So if we're talking co-op, the points admin is going to redeem those points for co-op. So that's just an additional step, right? You have see the points just like as normally you would do the co-op process, but you're going to have that one step before where you're going to say, yes, I want to use these points for co-op. And this is a change. Before, when we only offered co-op, we had that 50% for what we called passive advertising, like a vehicle wrap or clothing. And then we had the 70% for the trackable marketing campaigns.
Oh, good.
So that's actually changing to just the 50%. So it's kind of mirroring the contractor program because now you have all these other options, right? You have the product certificate option. So just makes it cleaner. So that's why that one change was made. And then you're going to redeem the points at that 50% number. So before, say you had, and we'll show an example in a minute, say you had $1,000 and you were going to get the 500 back. When you went into the system, you actually put in the 1,000, but now you're just going to put in the 500, the amount that you would want to get back. So those are just a few of the changes. So that in the submission process, just what I said, when you're submitting, you're going to enter the amount at that 50% value. And here's something else that we just wanted to point out. Once we make it live, right, you're going to have those points in the system. If you want to submit this year and use some of those points, you're going to have until December 15th to submit the request. And that's kind of what we've been doing all along. So that stays the same, but you can wait, say, hey, I have this, I'm not really ready right now. I'm going to wait until January 1st to submit for co-op. And if you do that, then you'll have until December 15th, 2025 to redeem the points. But if you do wait until January, then that activity is going to have to happen in January. So if you have something now that you want to, kind of clean up and get in, then you'll have to get that in by December 15th. And then we're going to go to the example just to show you. I stole this from Home Security. So this, if you haven't seen it, this graphic is in our November social media program. So say you're going to use this graphic, you're going to put it on Facebook, and you're actually going to boost it. So say your campaign is going to be $1,000. So you're going to be reimbursed half, which would be that 500. So when you go in, you're going to put in $500, like we were talking about, just in the dollars, and then that's going to be automatically converted to points. So you don't have to do the math. You're just going to stick to that $500 and it's going to happen automatically. And is that the end of the co-op, or do we have one more slide? Yes. Okay. Audra, do you want to chime in? Is there anything that I missed that you want to cover with everyone? I know we talked about the request being so important, and we're going to get to that later as with the new logos to just verify you're using those new logos with co-op. But is there anything I left out that you want to
So
cover?
far, so good.
Oh, look at
We will talk about with the co-op. There is a little bit different now that you guys don't have the dollars already in there. You will need to redeem points for co-op first, and we have some information on that, but so far so good, Ange. Looking great.
Awesome. Okay. All right, so then we've talked about the co-op. You can redeem points for that. So the next great one, which Audra can vouch for on the contractor side, they love this. They go in and use this all the time. We suggest this for you is the product certificates. So, how do you get these points? You're going to purchase Resideo, First Alert, and Honeywell Home products, and they are all going to qualify for these product certificates. So just to clarify this, there's two different metrics here. For US dealers, 5,000 points equals $50, and you're going to kind of redeem in these increments for one certificate. And if you're in Canada, 6,500 points equals $50, and that's one certificate. And this conversion rate, we talked about this yesterday, we update this every year. So this 6,500 points to 50 is actually the 2024 conversion rate. So that will be updated next year. So one-time thing every year. Okay, then the next one, we're just going to go into more detail. Okay, so what do you do? So again, we're talking about the points admin here. That's the only one who can redeem points. You're going to redeem them for the product certificates, and just like we said, in $50 increments. Then you're going to get an email, and only the points admin's getting this email with the certificate. So if you look on the right, there is 2 pages to that. It's a front and back. It's one PDF. And this is because we wanted to get it started early. So next year, it'll just be one certificate, but we just want to point it out because it's just for that one amount, right? I think this says $1,500 on it. You're not getting $3,000. It's just to show you that, might be a little confusing when you get it. It's front and back, but only, it's just one certificate. Okay, so then you're going to get the certificate. Then you're going to go to ADI and you're going to purchase, just like we said, Resideo, First Alert, or Honeywell Home products. Then when you get back, you're going to send an email, and this is that email we talked about earlier, to premierpartner@resideo.com. That way, all the people in the loyalty team have access to that, so you can get the quickest response. In the subject line, you're going to put the certificate number that's at the top there and your ADI account number. Then you're going to attach your ADI invoice and this certificate to the email. So it's pretty simple. So that's the process. And then on the next slide.
Add to that.
Yes.
I just want to make sure everyone does understand too, right? Any of these products that you're using your product certificate to purchase at ADI, these are actually counting towards your target. Okay. So that's a really big benefit of this now. Is let's say you're having a discussion with your DDG team, you might be $1,000 short from hitting your target for 2024, right? But you have $1,000 worth of points sitting there, right? You could print that product certificate, pick up those, purchase those parts, and that's actually an account towards your target now. So really a great benefit of these product certificates is, again, those purchases are now counting towards your target, even if you're using a product certificate. So we're very, very excited about this. Very excited.
Okay, so you've done all that now. You've sent the email in, and this is just to tell you what we're going to do. So we're going to verify that invoice and credit your ADI account with the amount on the product certificate. And then once that's approved, it could take up to 12 business days before the funds are in your ADI account. And I think that's the last piece. So I don't know, Audra is so knowledgeable about this. If I left anything out, if you want to explain anything to anyone.
No,
Did we lose? No?
nope. Sorry, I was trying to find
No, that's
unmute.
okay.
No, so really you'll just purchase the item or items, the products. You'll send the certificate back to Ange and I at our Premier Partner with a copy of the certificate and a copy of your invoice, and then we will process the credit back to your ADI account. These do expire. So make sure to take a look at that. So once you redeem the points up at the top, you'll kind of see this example where it's going to show, your company, the company name, your loyalty number, the value, the certificate number, when it was created, and then when it expires. And it automatically expires 6 months from that created date. So you want to make sure to get it back to us in a timely manner. If you can't find it or it was lost or something, if you need another copy, let us know. We can show you how to download another copy of it. So, yeah.
And
Good stuff.
Great.
quick clarification. I think this is going to be a winner, but do not present this to the ADI folks, correct?
Correct. They won't know what this is.
Got it.
They won't know anything about this. So if you ask them, they won't know either. The other thing is this money covers just the product cost, no tax, no shipping, nothing else, just product cost itself.
Right.
So when Ange and I review it, if the invoice is short, we'll reach out to see, is there another invoice, or are we just going to be issuing the lesser amount?
Hey, Audra.
Yes.
Hey, it's John Bennett from Loud. So if we don't convert it to a certificate, once it's converted to a certificate, it's got a 6-month lifespan to use. If it just sits as points, do those points have an indefinite lifespan, or?
They expire too.
Yep,
expire
they'll
12
expire
months.
12 months from the date we post them to your account. You will receive an email 30 days prior to expiration as a reminder. So that will go to the points admin to say, hey, you have X amount of points which are coming up to expire. Make sure you use them. And then the certificates, yep, those have once you redeem the points, you have an additional 6 months on it.
Okay.
Yep, there was something
So
else.
I missed the initial part of, I got in just a little bit late on it. So the points are being, that we have now as far as dollars, co-op dollars now, potential co-op dollars, I think we have like, I don't know, it says like $22,000 or something like that in there. That's going to be converted, or has that already been converted to points?
Not quite yet. Not
Okay.
quite yet. Yep.
Okay. So, and then once that happens, that clock is ticking. So
Correct.
that's
Yep.
happening now here in the next couple of weeks. And now we have 12 months to go ahead and use those points.
Not for you, John, because you shouldn't have lit that much
Believe
money.
me, I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
Account
I'm
for a year.
trying.
So
Yes.
I got a list.
out of principle, I'm expiring yours on December 31st.
Okay. Thank you, man.
The other, yes,
Merry
yep. So,
Christmas.
yep, if we get them posted, December 1st, you'll have till December 1st of 2025. If we post them on the, the 30th of this month, you'll have till November 30th of next
Gotcha.
year. The
Okay.
other thing I will note is when you are doing these certificates, the minimum is $50, and then you can redeem up to your nearest 50. So you don't have to do, one huge certificate for $20,000. You can break it up if okay, I have an order here for, let's say, $8,550, something like that.
Sure.
You can do that. Yep. And we will have instructions available out walking the points admins through this process, so that we have some great screenshots so you can see exactly what am I doing, where am I going, what will happen. So,
Well, that way you're not loading up your inventory shelves with product that you're.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
But John, to the point, right? If you're trying to hit your target so that you get the added benefits for those order, you want to spend those, you want to spend your own dollars, or you want to spend what you have in your points. Okay.
Leverage that so you don't miss out.
Yeah. And that's the conversation that the team will be having individually, because we have many companies that are very, very close to hitting the highest rewards benefit of the program with just a small dollar spend. And for many of these companies, they already have that money sitting in the bank in points. Okay.
Yeah, I love that. I absolutely love
Very
this.
lucrative.
So
Yep. So, okay.
Great. And I think now we're going to talk about the branded merchandise. So this is set up with Barker Specialty Group. So if you've gone to Connect, they've been a sponsor for years. They're one of our corporate alliances. So there's a full site. You see that URL under the photo there where you can go in and purchase branded merchandise with our information on it. So again, how does it work? The points admin, only that points admin can do all these things. They're going to redeem the points to use. Then they'll select the value and count and quantity of the credit, and then they're just going to click order. And then once you do that, you'll receive an email from e-commerce at barkerspecialty.com. And then you can go to that site that's there on the right and shop. And also this was something that Audra taught me. So if you don't have enough points and you really want to buy something, you can add your own credit card to make up that difference. But again, this is just for our logoed materials. So if you want to do something that you traditionally would do with co-op, right, where you'd have your logo and our logo on an item, then that's something that you would work with Heather directly at Barker. And even if you wanted something that's maybe not in the site, you want to get a pull-up banner for a home show or something like that, they do a wide variety of things. So even if it's not on the site, then that's something that you could also do, but that would be more on a case-by-case basis. So you could still, if you wanted to, use co-op for branded merchandise and do it your own way with, you know, your own vendor. You can still do that, but this is just an opportunity to make it even easier for you to use some of your points.
And just
And
a plug on that too, right? Heather is wonderful to work with, and I think very competitive from most things I've heard out there. So give them a shot.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, and Audra, do you want to add anything? Because I know you've been working with her for a very long time as well.
Yeah, she's wonderful to work with. So it's really awesome because they know exactly our requirements for logos, placing, sizing, or whatever. And then you can send them your logo and they will do everything. They'll get you a love proof. And you just let them know, hey, I'm gonna have dollars I'm gonna use out of my dealer funds, and I just need to know how much this is. The dollars that you redeem will even cover any shipping costs. So yeah, she just makes it very easy to work with. And like I said, if there's something that you want, like I have someone I know that I've been working and helping, they wanted some kind of a winter puffy coat, which isn't on the site, but they're saying this is what we have or this is what we can get. So just note that.
Yeah, great group.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay,
right.
so that's the branded merchandise. The last thing is the luxury rewards. So there's a variety of rewards that are higher items. If you're looking for something like Quentin said, they're great for holiday gifts, but you know, it's not the same value as you would use for co-op and product certificates. So, you know, you're really going to get a lot of value in those things. But, you know, if you're in a pinch and you want to use this for luxury rewards, it's just another option open to you. Anything you want to add here, Audra?
Nope.
Okay.
You know, if there's something that you are looking for that you think would be great value, again, reach out to us. We can see if it's available. I know it changes often, so we can add, or some things do get removed. Shipping is typically can take a couple weeks. And I would just say if you are doing luxury, as you check out, just make sure to verify that what is shown for the address is where you want it to go. So yeah, these are non-branded items. So yep.
Okay. Awesome.
Another great option. Yep.
Okay. Do you want me to do this, Q, or do you want to do this?
You can take this.
Okay. So we announced this at Connect. Hopefully, if you were there, you heard it. If not, these are our older logos, right? So after we acquired First Alert, we came out with these logos that you've used for your co-op. and you'll see that it says Resideo Premier Partner there. So they did, our branding team did an extensive brand study. And what they found is that First Alert is one of the most trusted brands in home security. And when you combine that with Honeywell Home, there's a real big awareness with homeowners and small businesses. So they wanted to emphasize that with these two logos. And this is really going to help you also with your customers to have this strong connection to the brand. So if we go to the next slide, we'll see what the new logos are. And basically, we've removed Resideo from the logo, and instead of First Alert Pro, it's First Alert Premier Pro Partner. And again, just like you could before, we give you the two logos. You could use one or the other. You could use both together. I know Jen had a question about that. Sure, if you want to do that, you can use both. And these are already in the portal, right? At Connect, I put them in the portal, again, with a variety of colors and formats for each one. And so now, we had those other logos with the Resideo in them. And just like we did last time, we give you a full year if you want to choose to continue to use those. So that will end December 31st, 2025. So I guess you're getting a little more than a full year. But if you're doing anything new and you're going to submit, we recommend using the new logos for anything new that you're going to submit. But of course, if you prefer the other ones with Resideo in there, you will have that full year to still use those. But unfortunately, if you continue to use it after the year is up, December 31st, 2025, we're not going to be approving those. And this just, Audra and I just kind of wanted to educate everybody at this point about that, about, how you have the two-step process for co-op. That first part is the request or the pre-approval. And we just want to point out that that's really necessary because we want to make sure that you're using the right logo. And with the logo changes, I know it can sometimes get confusing. So some people will put in a job that's already done. And then unfortunately, we'd have to say, no, we can't approve it. It's the wrong logo. So we never want you to be into that situation. So that's why we just wanted to emphasize that importance of the proof at that request stage.
And it's just to add to this, right? I know it's another change, right? But you probably, if you came to Connect, you heard a lot about our branding. But guys, truly, this is the #1 brand and the #2 brand in these categories that we really feel like, obviously, we should be leveraging at every opportunity. Resideo obviously doesn't mean to the consumer what these two brands do. So just very important that, there's true value here. It's one of the things that as your DDG people are talking to you, one of the things that they are going to be doing is just doing a quick look at your website, because we still do see a lot of the old logos. When I say old, I still see a First Alert professional one out there every now and then. But these are ones we're really going to encourage you to be updating to, just because of the brand recognition that you have there. So great stuff, and just good reminder.
Yeah, great point.
And will you
Awesome.
guys be sending that out as the new logos out?
Where can you get the logos, Angela?
Oh, please go in the portal. There's a logo folder for the new. It says new First Alert logos, new
I
Honeywell
gotta
Home
do
logo.
something.
Well,
you
he
could
did
send
have
me an email, but
$20,000 worth of co-op in there, so I don't know how often he's been there. But guys, again, we always talk about that, right? It sounds corny when I say it, but to take full advantage of this program, there's this doorway, this portal that you have to walk through, and that is our, that's our I mean, that's the portal, and that's where Angela keeps all of this great information. That's where the logos are, but it's also a place that you will find so much more from a marketing standpoint.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
yep, we're
And
hitting
as far as
800 assets.
one
Go
more
ahead,
question
sorry.
on that one. What about getting like flags for some of our smaller events where I want to throw the flag up there? Is that something that I can just talk to Angela offline, or?
Yeah, and that's something you could really we can work with, you can always talk to me, but we can work with Heather on that, because that's not, if it's not in the site and you wanted to co-brand something and use your points for that, that's something she could certainly do. We can talk to her about
normally
it.
we just throw the flags up on the booth and that kind of thing. So
Okay. Yeah, that would be a perfect use if you wanted to use the branded merchandise part for that. Sure. But product certificates are always good too.
That's right.
But you also enjoy doormats too, right, John?
Yes,
right.
and
That's
Yetis.
right.
I still have my Yeti. Thank you.
Hey, can I also just mention one other thing? And maybe you want to go to the next slide, because maybe you're going to talk about it right here, Ange. Oh, okay. So she's going to talk about obviously November assets, but I just wanted to mention that Angela and the team are going to be working on updating additional assets that are utilized more regularly with the right branding, and also providing you guys an updated version of the brand guide. So those things will be coming out shortly. I don't have an exact date yet, but I think that we're going to try to accomplish that before the end of the year, so you guys have it. So if you have additional co-op claims, you know the direction of how to use the logo, the new logos. It's going to be exceedingly similar to what you've seen in the past. But I just wanted to make you aware that we understand you guys have assets in the library that you like to use. We will get those updated, and it'll come out in phases, and we'll notify you when they get updated via the newsletter. And hopefully everybody here is getting the newsletter, and you guys find that to be helpful and meaningful. So just wanted to mention that as well.
Yeah, great point. So these are the November assets. So that's the first time that we did use the new logo. Just if you want to talk a little second about that. So this is a new approach too. I'm working with the creative team, and you see that first photo. There's actually video playing. We got some feedback from the marketing dealer group. So thanks for that. So that, every month we'll give you one of those as far as video goes. And just like Brad said, we will be updating in phases, but I don't want you to worry that, we're never going to take anything away from you that's already there. So, it will be there for you. And then as we update, we'll kind of replace right in that month. And then I guess I could just also tell you that if you weren't on the call yesterday regarding the Vista Hybrid, I did put some images in there and the end user sell sheets in there for that you can customize. And then we also made a decision on the team call to kind of make it even easier for you. I'm going to start putting in the pro data sheets and everything in there too. So there's like a Vista H3 folder, and then you'll find everything in there rather than going to our regular Resideo site and finding some things, but I'll keep it clean so it doesn't get cluttered. It'll be in that exact folder for you. So just something to point out since we're together on this call.
So Angela, I think it's clever that it's Christmas, and my favorite movie, Christmas Vacation, we have a cat with a string of Christmas lights right there. So
see, yes, that's Danny.
I'll
Danny's a cat person, so he picked that.
Happens in the movie. So yeah.
I've never seen the movie actually, so I shouldn't comment because I don't know the answer there.
Okay. All right. I'll have to
that's that.
share that clip.
Hey, so I just also want to put in a plug for Tony's stuff. I've been talking with him, and we recently got onto TikTok. Finally got on the bandwagon for that, and Tony's been giving me some really good content to start to put up there. So that's just a plug-in for really brief. Fits the format, nice and brief, and anyway, so just worth
I'll
looking
have
at.
to talk to him. We actually I just had a meeting today with him and David, and we're working, even though, it's not a monthly program, we are working on 4 social media videos for Vista. So there'll be 2 residential and 2 light commercial that'll be coming out. And based on feedback from the marketing dealer group, we're going to kind of focus on upgrades and takeovers with those messages. So I'm looking forward to that.
And John Loud and TikTok. I can see that.
Yeah, I sent a banner. I don't know what you're going to do with that, John Bennett, but I thought it might be fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So guys, obviously, and again, we'll keep things open here for questions, but guys, do look for a new agreement coming from me next week. It's going to be coming via DocuSign. And it basically, guys, just covers the big changes we're making to points and also the new logo usage. Okay. Nothing other than no other changes that you didn't already agree to in the original agreement with our program. But again, obviously, with the new logo usage and the points update, we do have a new agreement that will be coming your way via DocuSign next week. So be looking for that. If you have any questions, again, just reach out to your dealer development person. Okay.
Awesome.
Couple of great topics, guys, as we kind of end of the year. We're going to be doing a coffee and conversation Friday, December 6th. And again, we're just going to be keeping this one fairly festive, kind of a year in review, give you some highlights from 2024, particularly from Connect. I'm sure we'll have lots of great things to talk about, but kind of a year in review. We may talk about some of the new products and things to look forward to in 2025. So don't miss out on this. But you'll see more information coming. We're looking for your favorite Christmas mug, and we've all been known to maybe dress for this occasion. This is our final coffee and conversation of 2024. So good stuff. With that, again, Audra, thank you so much. Angela, thank you so much. We'll kind of open up now for questions. Anyone have any questions? Did we cover everything in the chat?
Q, do you mind if I mention something really quickly before we get into the QA? Is that possible?
Sure.
Yeah. So guys, I know for those of you that were at Connect, we had announced that we would be pushing over to the points last week. We've ran into just a couple of, and I think we've talked about this briefly, but I wanted to touch on it just a little bit more so everybody understands the direction, kind of a timeline, and what can be expected over the next week or so. So we have run into just a couple of technical issues on the reward side. So providing you the mechanism to ultimately use Pro Premier points in the rewards catalog. So we're very close to just getting that fixed. Your points or your co-op dollars, right, that you used to see within your dashboards, those have already been calculated and have been done from a dollar for dollar exchange and are ready to go. We just have to push it into the system. So no worries in terms of you will have the exact same amount from a dollar perspective in points once we've fixed the challenge in the reward side. So I would say we're getting exceedingly close. I should have an additional update for our team later today. However, it looks like it will most likely be sometime next week where we'll be able to push the points into the dashboard and you guys can redeem those points. Now, also, just one other thing, those points will not expire for a full year the day that we actually push them in. So none of those points will be ready and available for you. You'll have 12 months to utilize them, so you shouldn't have any issues in terms of worrying on whether those points are going to expire. So you have 12 months to use those. So I want to apologize on behalf of the team that this has taken a little longer than we expected, but we look to be able to push over into the new system, providing you guys that opportunity to use your points towards product certificates next week or the following. So we will provide an update as we move forward. So just wanted to kind of get that cat out of the bag, and we apologize for any inconvenience.
So,
look, everyone on the call, everyone on our team has your points balance right now. So if you have any questions on what your balance is, anyone on my team can answer that question for you. We have that reporting information. And we will gladly help you start figuring out a plan to spend those before the end of the year for product certificates. So, Chris, did you have a question, or I don't know?
Yeah, I was going to ask. There's a menu item now that's new to the portal that says redeem points, and it looks like it takes us someplace to register. Are we to do that now, or should we stay hands off for a little while? Or?
That's the link that we're having issues with. That
so you can just
go
wait.
ahead, Audra.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
you can just wait. Yep.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I have a question as well.
Yes.
So as we accrue more points next quarter or that type of thing, whatever, will it just be, you've got this much left that's expiring in 9 months, you've got this much left that's expiring in 12 months?
Yeah, John, we'll be keeping you updated on which points you have expiring. As those are deposited, you have a year from that date, but all that information will be supplied to you. Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Again, but remember, John, you have to log into the portal to see that information.
I'm on there all the time. I like it.
Nice, John.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
John, you'll have an updated dashboard that's going to be, you'll be able to see how many points you have, when they expire as well. So it'll all be on your dashboard.
Awesome.
Yeah, we shared a little bit at Connect, but there was a lot of information for this time. So I think we're going to, once it's live, we'll do another webinar to do a demo and show you all the other great things that Adam and Brad and Audra have been working on as far as the dashboards too.
But again, your DDG team, again, has your points balance now and can answer any of the questions that we've covered on the call today too. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Can we emphasize again, this doesn't go to ADI, right?
Correct. Yep.
We just need to make sure that that's really clear because this is kind of outside of the norm for some of the dealers, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I think we need to
Basically,
Yeah, and
emphasize
Caitlin
that.
asked a great question. So, for these product certificates, like how does it work? So what's going to happen is, just like if you did co-op today, you're getting a credit for that co-op on your ADI account. This will be the same thing. You will have a credit on your ADI account.
for that product.
If you need a copy of it, we can, just let us know when you send it over, when you email us, and I can pull a copy of what we've issued as a credit. But yep. And then Nancy asked a good question, how long does the Pro Perks application take after submission? So if you have not ever gone into your dashboard and you're doing it, it'll take just a couple minutes. So let us know. But if you've already been in the dashboard and looking at co-op, once we have it all set and you click on redeem points, you're just going to be asked to accept the terms of the redemption catalog site and you're good to go. There's no other application or registration process you need to do.
Yep.
So the other thing I have is, if Joe, you're still on the line, I've been trying to email you and it's not going through. So that might be part of the problem. Maybe we have a bad email for you. So if you
I'm
want to
still
just,
here.
yeah,
I've been trying to reset my password
yep.
and
So-
it hasn't even come in.
Yep. So I think there's something wrong with the email because I tried to email you twice and it's rejecting. So if you
Joe,
want,
what error code are you getting?
private email, you can send it to me or Ange. And
yeah,
let
yep,
us get
and
your
then I
correct
can-
email address.
Yep.
Okay.
What error code are you getting on the email?
it's just saying it's undeliverable. That's it.
We have an on-site server, so that's kind of weird.
Yeah,
Maybe there's
and-
a firewall or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we
Joseph, just shoot us an email, buddy. We'll try to help you troubleshoot it.
Yep.
Okay. Sometimes
Okay.
it can be a whitelist issue or something like that with the email. So we'll check
Yeah.
it.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm looking at
Caitlin, can I
my
ask?
current points? I haven't met your criteria yet to get the points. And by the way, the logo, the first alert logo, does that mean I got to take it off my trucks?
No, it does not. Remember, you have a full year. Nobody's going to be putting a scraper to your vehicle. Keep it there for as long as you want, right? It's just for any new submittals that'll be coming in, right? As Ange said, you've got a year to continue with the old one. But yeah,
I'm talking about the one that I got when I first started.
yeah, that's that. So if you
It's
remember my
just a
example
first alert.
earlier about going to websites and still seeing First Alert Professional, yeah, Joe, that was
It's a little old, I think.
You'll need it in the 90s.
yeah.
That was the slogan.
I prefer the 90s, thanks.
Me too.
If you're still using this one, that could be a problem. Okay.
Oh my gosh, where did
Still
you
works.
find that?
Oh,
Jeez.
Quentin saves everything.
Yeah,
Just
Quentin-
ask him.
I'm
He
gonna
saves
try
it
to make
all.
things as miserable for my kids as possible when I pass away, and then put stuff to throw away that they just they're gonna have to get a dumpster.
That
Okay.
looks like a CD container. Jeez, oh Pete.
Yeah. So guys, again, any questions, the team is here to help. Please don't get frustrated with anything. We know this is going to be a little bit of a transition, but it should be pretty smooth. I know Brad and his team on the back end have been working very hard to make this very easy. But again, you've got your dealer development group team. Just reach out to them. Again, we know your points balances, so we can help you plan now with what you want to do with those points, maybe before the end of the year. And guys, in closing, I just want to wish everyone, I know our Canadian friends have already had their Thanksgiving, but for all the U.S. friends here, I want to wish everyone a safe and happy Thanksgiving. We all work very hard. Let's enjoy some time with our families, and everyone be safe. Okay.
Back at you. Thank you.
Yeah.
You
Thanks,
on
guys.
Coffee and Conversation. Happy
Yep.
Thanksgiving.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good holiday, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks,
You too,
guys.
John.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks,
guys.
y'all. Appreciate
Happy
you.
Bye.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Hi, thanks for joining.
Everyone.